Welcome back guys, this is part 2 of my Newbie's Guide to Weapons, so if you didn't catch part 1 there's a link in the description below. In this video I'll be covering the secondaries and the blue chest weapons, so without further ado let's get started. Red Dynamite is available as a secondary in Shootout for 6 stars and in Elimination for 9. In Breakbad and Teamplay the price varies by map, but it's usually $50. You get 2 sticks when you spawn, and to use them you hold down the left mouse button to cook it and then release to throw. It takes about 6 seconds to explode, so make sure to learn the timing on it, otherwise it'll explode right in your face. You can listen for 2 rises in the pitch of the hissing, and not long after the second rise it'll explode. If you want to throw it farther or higher you can run or jump just before you throw as well. Within a meter or two's radius a single stick will instantly kill an opponent, and even if you don't kill them straight away, you'll probably knock their weapon out of their hand or at least disorientate them. Be careful around other dynamite users, because if you're carrying them, then you'll explode just by being near another explosion even if your dynamite is holstered. Knives are available as a secondary in Shootout or Elimination for 3 stars, and in Breakbad and Teamplay they cost $10. The knives are a medium damage melee weapon that usually kills in 3 or 4 hits, and you can also throw them to deal damage at range. You get 3 of them, so you can be lenient about throwing them, even though your enemies can still pick them up off the ground. The knives are pretty simple and easy to use, and since they're cheap they make a good sidearm to pair up with ranged weapons, especially stuff that's good at long range like rifles, because that way you have something to work with at close and melee range as well. Kicking is available as an inherent ability, but you can also purchase boots to make it more effective. The boots cost 4 stars as a secondary in Shootout and Elimination, or $12 in Breakbad and Teamplay. To kick, press the Alt key. Kicking has a little delay before it happens, but you can use it to deal some damage and knock your opponents away from you or into hazards like breakable fences, fire and off cliff sides. By purchasing boots you can deal some more damage with it and kick your enemies farther away from you. The toughest thing about kicking is that you can't move when you kick, so be careful not to use it in a situation where being stunned will get you killed. What you can do is jump and then kick while you're landing, which means you spend less time stunned and you might even be able to make a headshot kick for a little extra damage. But you can't kick while reloading, so if you're in a pinch and you need to get someone away from you, then switch to another weapon and then kick straight away. The handgun throw is a passive ability available for 1 star as a secondary in Shootout and Elimination, and while it isn't available by default in Breakbad or Teamplay, you can edit your loadout to add it, and it will cost $5. To use the handgun throw, equip 1 or 2 handguns and then hold down your drop key, which is V by default. When the icon fills up completely, your handguns will launch straight forward, and the heavier the gun is, the more damage it deals. With 2 heavy guns, a handgun throw can kill instantly, and the longer the distance, the more points you get. The handgun throw is a great passive to have if you're comfortable using it, because it lets you get more damage out even after you've run out of ammo, and of course you can use it for humiliating kills as well. Fists are always available as a default melee weapon, but you can purchase brass knuckles to change how they work. Brass knuckles cost 3 stars as a secondary in Shootout and Elimination, and $7 in Breakbad or Teamplay. With the fists you have a right punch and a left punch. The right punch does more damage, but the left punch is a little bit faster. Unless you know what you're doing, I recommend just using the right punch, but make sure to time it right to get a consistent rhythm, because if you spam right click it won't punch as fast. The brass knuckles do more damage than the fists, but they can also disarm people if you punch them head on. This way you can disorient them and take away their weapons, but you won't deal any damage for a punch that disarms an opponent. The brass knuckles are viable as a melee weapon due to their extra damage and disarming ability, but the fists should only really be used as a last resort weapon or for humiliation. The Schofield can be found in the blue chest in free-for-all Shootout and Elimination, and you can also spawn with it for 6 stars in Team Shootout. In Breakbad and Teamplay it costs $38. The Schofield is a highly accurate 5-shot revolver. At long range it can reliably kill in 3 body shots, and at close range body shots can deal over 50 damage. You can fan the hammer for quick kills at close range as well, but be careful with your shots because you only get 5 of them. The Schofield is a great revolver that's good for training your aim, because if you miss it's probably your own fault. The Carbine can be found in the blue chest in free-for-all Shootout and Elimination, and you can also choose it as a primary for 7 stars in Team Shootout. In Breakbad and Teamplay it costs $40. The Carbine is a 1-shot top-rank rifle that's almost perfectly accurate and can be reliably used at just about any range. To use it you need to hold down the right mouse button to zoom into the iron sights, otherwise you'll be at 1% accuracy and you won't be able to hit anything. 1 headshot is a guaranteed kill at most ranges, and 2 body shots will take down an enemy, but be careful because you only get 1 shot before you need to reload it, and it takes a long time to reload this weapon. The Carbine is a great lightweight long range weapon that works best with cover and a sidearm to keep you alive if the enemy gets close. Coachgun can be found in the blue chest in Shootout and Elimination, and in Breakbait and Teamplay it costs $65. The Coachgun is a 2-shot shotgun that's reliable at close to mid-range, and you can use it for spam damage at longer ranges as well. Unless you're in a panic position, you should always hold down the right mouse button when you shoot because it gives you more damage. It's supposed to give you a tighter spread, but I think it's broken at the moment. 2 well-placed shots will kill an opponent at close to medium range, but be careful not to get caught while reloading as it takes a long time to do so. The Coachgun is a bit more expensive than its alternatives, but is more forgiving of bad aim and is very easy to comfortably deal damage with. For the record, you can't deal headshots with the Coachgun like you can with the sawed-off. That wraps it up for this video. In the next and final video I'll be covering the weapons in the red and gold chests. Thanks for watching and have a good one.